Page of the Philadelphia Daily News. That is not a headline that you want to see on any paper when you love your sports teams. Morey is a liar. That would be basically calling the guy that hired you a liar. James Harden making that crystal clear that he doesn't want to be here apparently. And here is the video of him saying that.
Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of. Let me say that again. Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of.
Well, that devolved rapidly. Marc Zumoff is with us now. Marc, first of all, great to see you. I miss you.
Good to be seen, guys. Good to be seen.
Thank you for joining us.
So how do you come back from that? Daryl Morey is a liar. Can you come back?
Well, you know what, guys? I don't know how much time you have. I think if I could just take maybe 60 seconds and give you some perspective,
Okay.
then maybe we can mull that one over. But the Sixers, they acquired James Harden from the Nets. That was back in February of 22, the middle of that season. And by the end, he re-signed with the Sixers for less money. And the inference then was that signing for less would allow the Sixers to, fill out their roster with better players and hopefully win a championship. Now, it was a 2-year deal, and reports suggested that the Sixers made an oral agreement with him that in return for this friendly contract, we're going to re-sign you to a huge deal. And it's my understanding that that never happened. In fact, the NBA investigated and determined it never happened. So you have a 2-year deal in place. That deal, at the end of the season, provided for that second year to be an option. And Harden could decide, all right, am I going to be a free agent and test the waters, or will I opt in? Well, apparently his agent tested the waters, and there wasn't much demand for a 34-year-old free agent, even though he does have a Hall of Fame resume. So they opted in and then said, okay, Sixers, we're in, but we want you to trade James Harden to the LA Clippers because that's where he's from. And so the Sixers negotiated, and apparently they didn't get the kind of deal that they wanted. And so Adrian Wojnarowski, who works for ESPN, one of their leading reporters covering the NBA, recently reported that the trade talks were going to stop, and Harden was expected to report for training camp. And then Harden said what he said, as you guys played moments ago. Now, keep in mind, he is under contract, and the collective bargaining agreement is pretty specific about players who are under contract and refuse to report. So the bottom line is you're going to have a lot of drama come the end of September. How do you get past that? I don't know. We're going to have to see. But I think if you're James Harden, what you do is you come to camp, you come in shape, you play hard, because that's the best way for other general managers to look at you and say, all right, this is a guy who I want on my team. If you gain weight, if you don't report, if you're a malcontent and you say things the way you said them couple of days ago, that's not going to cause the Sixers to want to trade you anytime soon.
And aren't there new rules now where you can't hold out after a certain period? I mean, he has to show up.
Well, he's under contract. It's not even like he's a free agent and teams are bidding for him and that sort of thing. He is obligated to report like you and I. Well, I'm retired now, but you guys are obligated to report, right?
Right. And we have seen this before in Sixers history.
Is this Ben Simmons again? I mean,
or could it be like an Allen Iverson situation?
Yeah.
Well, that turned out.
Oh, yeah. Remember, Larry Brown and Allen were not getting along. Who solved that problem so many years ago?
Well, it's funny you would say that because I've embarked on a new podcast called Press 24 with Marc Zumoff, if I could plug that shamelessly.
Sure.
But anyway, I recently had Pat Croce on it. Pat Croce, back then in 2001, when the team was en route to the NBA Finals, was the president of the team, and he had to mediate a major dispute because Allen Iverson wanted to play, but he didn't want to play for Larry Brown, and Larry Brown wanted to coach, but he didn't want to coach Allen Iverson. And so Pat got them into a room, and essentially what he did was he gave Allen Larry's perspective, and he gave Larry Allen's perspective. They kissed and made up and went to the 2001 Finals. I'm not suggesting that could happen anytime soon. But wouldn't that be cool, right?
Let's all
Harden
get together and
decides,
talk about it.
Harden's a malcontent, and then all of a sudden
Right.
he decides, all right, I'm going to play, and things go great, and the next thing you know,
Well,
the
Mark,
Sixers are in the NBA Finals. What kind of a story would that be,
That'd be
right?
great. Why don't you be the mediator then, Mark?
Not me. Not me. Listen, I don't know if you could see the reflection in the
can.
doors behind me here. I'm looking at the bay right now. Okay, that's good for me. I'm not actually mediating
it looks
anything except maybe a boat.
Yeah,
Does look
down
good.
the shore.
And we'll have to check out your podcast, Fresh 24.
Fresh 24.
Thank you.
It's good. Okay, we'll
Thank
be
you
right
for
back.
being
Thanks,
here.
Mark.
You got it.